dot dot dot. Silence intensifies. Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nerd Rant. I'm JJ, aka Junior Wolf. This is my co-host.
Dr. Zombie and also the Seth. I wanted to see what you would do if I just...
Yeah, I never know what to expect, so I always just kind of stay silent, because most of the time if I try, I end up talking over you, so I've just, like, learned to not tread on the intro, because, I don't know, I guess that kind of became your thing. When did that happen? When did that become your thing?
I was actually going through and listening to some of our old podcasts, and I forget which one. I think it might have been Amanda. Remember, I'm just the one that just has a block of text. So, I just gotta do things.
You're 90% of the talking. I'm here for comedic relief.
You are. Anyway, we're doing Game Awards 2024.
Yay!
I want to start off with, it's been 10 years since Game Awards started. That's pretty cool.
It has, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I did not realize that.
What year did you start watching it?
Since we did the podcast.
Okay. That makes sense. I watched it like 1 or 2 years before that. I feel like nobody
knew
watched
the Game Awards were happening. Well, I knew the Game Awards were happening, and I saw it, but I just didn't care enough. Because again, you also have to realize, like, another thing for it is the trailers and stuff. I'm still playing Fortnite. Like, I don't care what's coming out. I'm playing Fortnite and Minecraft and Terraria. Maybe some Roblox in there. So it's like, I only started doing this and anime awards and stuff. Like, I knew what the winners were for podcast purposes. So I knew it was happening and stuff. But I didn't realize it's been 10 years. I thought it was more like 5 or 6.
Yeah, no, back in the day, like, they didn't have that many big announcements either. So people didn't really give the event itself much weight. Yeah.
We had E3, and I think that's what really boosted the Game Awards, is no more E3, meaning here's where it happens.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger now, so it's a lot more worth watching. Even if it's not for the awards, like, I mostly watch for the announcements.
Show. I mean, the show itself is also cool. I wanted to ask, how long have they done the orchestra part? Because that's one of my favorite parts so far, especially during the God of War Elden Ring year.
Yeah, I think they've been doing that for a while. Like, the Game Awards orchestra is like a whole thing. Like, they've had that for a while, and it's always the same people too, which is awesome. I don't know if you saw the what did they call him last year? The guy with the curly hair that plays like every single instrument. Did you see him?
Sounds familiar.
He was like a whole thing last year. I think he was like playing the flute or something, but he was like so like way over the top into it, like moving with the flute or something like that. It was crazy, but he was there this year. I was like, oh, I remember that guy.
But no, it's been really fun. But obviously, we can't talk about everything because our goal is to condense an almost 4-hour live stream into less than an hour, with our thoughts included.
Yeah, so we'll probably skip over a bunch of stuff, just so that you guys know if we miss one of your favorite announcements. Boo-hoo. Go somewhere else if you're looking for an in-depth dive into every single thing.
Yeah. So let's just start. I'm doing I did the bottom of the page. So let's just start, and then we'll talk about the awards if needed. So let's start with Best Esports Team, which is T1 League of Legends. They won, which I do want to say for esports, I know you're obviously not super into esports. How do you feel about the fact that I feel like there's so little shooters? There's CSGO, but then it's Valorant, it's Dota.
I don't know, it's just weird to...
I mean, League of Legends. Like, League of Legends,
I've never really seen a first-person shooter try to get into an esports category. Like, they are very competitive, and I feel like that is part of shooters as they are, but they're not really an esport just because it's so different from all the other esports. I mean, when
Fortnite and Overwatch.
Well, when choosing esports, they try and choose things that lean heavily on team play, because think about it, esports, they go in teams, they rely on teams, and so games that cater to teams and how they play are important. And then they also try and pick things that require a good bit of strategy, and no offense to shooters, like there is some strategic elements in there, but it is a lot more like quick reaction time and like those split-second decisions and stuff like that. It's a lot less of let's make a plan before we go into battle, you know?
I mean, I feel like there's strategy there too. Like Fortnite has a lot of like subconscious strategy on rotations, where you drop to get materials, how to get storm surge damage to make sure you don't instantly die, because you got to make sure you get your damage up and get kills to win, to get end game, like rotations to get extra heals.
And I feel like that's because it is not a first-person shooter, so it allows for a little bit more strategy. But it's just not quite to the bar enough that, especially because it's 1 to 4 players, it's not enough that you could put a team in it and say, like, yes, we are a Fortnite esports team. Like, it doesn't add up the same as the other kind of esports categories.
That's what I was kind of thinking, because I was talking to someone else. It's just kind of I feel like, especially for viewer counting stuff, I feel like Fortnite is big enough, and they do have teams. Like, you have Power from Australia. It's just kind of annoying that there's nothing, and it's all like League of Legends, especially League of Legends, because I feel like I do not hear a single positive thing about League of Legends.
Nobody cares about League of Legends anymore.
Like, I do not hear a single thing. All I hear about is, if you play League of Legends, you are a disgrace to humanity. That's all I hear. So I don't know. Anyway, Faker is the winner for Best Athlete. Let's go on. Thank you, website, for...
Did you not? If you just search the Game Awards winners, Google itself gives you like a list of just the winners.
I know. I'm just going through the website itself, and it's just the wrong button. Anyway, can you guess what the best esports game is?
I wonder what it could be.
League of Legends. Content creator of the year. We got our boy Queso.
Bro, I saw his reaction
Honestly,
to it, and I haven't seen a lot of him, just so you know. I've seen clips, but nothing that, like, I know nothing about him as a person. So I saw this clip, and I was like, oh, this is the guy who won. I should watch this. And I was like, I really did not know what to think after watching his reaction to winning. I was like, okay, so this is the guy that we all voted for. Great.
I think he's just really wholesome. He's just a really wholesome content creator. We got Typical Gamer. And then I also want to point out, we got another VR person. We got a VTuber. And nobody realizing how massive these people are makes me laugh every time. Most anticipated game. This is such a rigged category.
Yeah.
It's GTA 6.
Yeah.
GTA 6.
It's like you can't have anything else win there.
No. I would say Ghost of Yote, because at this point, GTA 6 ain't happening, because we got Lego GTA 6 and Fortnite before GTA 6. Best adaptation. How do you feel about this one? We got Fallout. I haven't seen, like, any of these shows.
It wasn't a bad choice. I feel like there might have been better ones, but
Which one?
Oh gosh, I need to pull up the list of the nominees. I'm pretty sure Arcane was on there, wasn't it?
Arcane, and that's what a lot of people were saying, that Arcane should have won. But what I saw people saying is the fact that Arcane comes from the lore of League of Legends and not League of Legends the game itself, whereas Fallout is more of a game that can have that type of adaptation. I'm not saying that's why it won. That's just one of the arguments I saw, because I guess a lot of people
fair,
saying,
but in that same light, then like a lot of things wouldn't count. Like the Mario movie wouldn't count. The Sonic movies wouldn't count. Like 90% of the game adaptations being made are not just taken from like the direct story of a game. They're a reimagining with the characters.
I feel like movies like Mario definitely can fit more into a game, whereas from what I know about, like, because the game itself has some kind of story, whereas League of Legends just isn't like that, or isn't seen like that. I don't know, because like I don't really care for League of Legends.
Yeah.
Anyway, best multiplayer. We got Helldivers 2. Yeah. I'm not too mad about that.
I'm not surprised at all. It took people by storm. I love the promotion, by the way. I'm just going to call this out now so we don't have to mention it later.
That.
When they came on stage to announce whatever it was, like the update or whatever, that was awesome. I love that they're always in character. It's so great.
Yeah. Best racing / sports is EA Sports FC 25.
Yay?
I don't know. I don't know about any of these. So let's move on. Best sim/strategy is Frostpunk 2. I don't know about any of these, except one of them is Unicorn Overload.
Sounds great.
Best family. Astrobot. I'm okay with this. Is there any ones that you specifically wanted?
I have a qualm with this one. So Astrobot is a single player, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like that, like, I get that it is a kid-appropriate game and very, like, PG and, like, bubbly, colorful. So I get why it's in the category, but I think it shouldn't be, because I think Best Family should be playable with your family.
As a family. I get that. I think that's just not a big thing anymore, though.
Well, because like even the Zelda big. Like if you look for like multiplayer games, there are so many of them. Especially like if you look back over the years, we've gotten so many of them that are a lot of people's favorites, especially if they had families to play with. Like I could think of many games that would fit into this category, not necessarily all from this past year, but like I feel like it'd be a lot cooler if it were games like Mario Party or like, I don't know if the Princess Peach one is multiplayer, but like there are a lot of games Nintendo puts out a lot themselves that would easily fit here that I think would be great. But
and I guess that's one reason they just threw a PlayStation one in there, because it's all Nintendo, because 3 out of 5 of these are Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you mean. I would personally probably would have voted the Mario Party Jamboree, even though I never played it. It, like you said, it's more for family play, but it's not the end of the world. Next one, Best Fighting.
Tekken
8. Kind of surprised, because I don't know like any of these, because that's just not a genre. But I thought Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero would have been big enough. I felt that was a clear winner.
Yeah, I guess not in the fighting space.
It wasn't. I guess not.
Yeah.
Best RPG. Metaphor.
ReFantazio. I'm not surprised. Yep. It apparently got a lot of acclaim when it came out. I heard like it touched on a lot of different topics and didn't make it feel like it was jam-packed. Like it felt like a smooth experience. So I'm happy
it won another one too.
I'm just happy that Elden Ring did not win.
I would have been okay if Elden Ring won this. Not Game of the Year though. We'll get there. We'll get there. Best action/adventure. This one I was kind of surprised by. Astrobot.
This one I was annoyed at. Where's the action in Astrobot? Was there action?
Well, action. I mean, I did play, and you after the first like little set of missions, you do fight a big old Donkey Kong kind of person.
Oh.
It's not Donkey Kong.
Child-friendly action, okay.
But it is a boss fight. Like, there's a proper boss fight, and every galaxy has boss fights. Not to mention, you constantly are beating things up. You get coins, so childlike action. Best action game. Black Myth Wukong. I'm absolutely happy with that.
Yep.
Best VR/AR. Batman Arkham Shadow. Once again, completely happy with that. I've heard amazing things about that game. I haven't played it, but I've heard phenomenal things. Any VR, any of these that you care about?
Not really. I haven't played VR other than Beat Saber. So.
Best mobile game, Balatro.
Balatro.
I mean,
there's no N in there, buddy.
Yeah, too bad.
I am not happy with this. I have a lot to say about this game, and none of it is good. It's a card game. If you wanted to play a card game, go to the casino. Like, this
so from what I've heard, though, it's a card game that also, like, mix in, like, RPG elements.
Yeah, that's not new in video games. That's not at all new. Have you heard of Slay the Spire? Like,
how many people did it take to make that, though?
Slay the Spire? I'm pretty sure it's an indie game.
Mm-hmm. So how many people?
A couple?
Because only one guy made this one.
Okay. It's a card game.
But anyway, I'm happy with the game, but it's also on PC. That's what I'm mad about. I feel like
it's
AFK
on console
Journey
too,
or the Pokemon. I don't think that. I don't remember.
I might be wrong. But I am upset that a lot
I don't
of
mind
these,
the
like,
game.
technically a lot of these other ones are also on PC. Like, I think you can get it through, like, the Google Play PC thing. But in the sense of, like,
oh no, it is
what a mobile game is, I feel like a lot of these other ones, like, I've played a good amount of these other ones on here. Zenless Zone Zero, same people who made Genshin, Wuthering Waves, like, big RPG story. Pokemon, I mean, it's Pokemon, so it has merit.
I mean, it's
here.
massive. It's blown up.
I've been playing AFK
Everyone's been
Journey
playing
over
it.
the past, like, year and a half, and that's a fantastic game, and
I haven't played that
direct
in so
shame
long,
it
but
has
that's
not
like
won,
the
but-
most classic mobile.
Well,
like,
no,
that's what I probably would have voted
that's
to
same
win.
universe, different game. You're thinking AFK Arena.
You're right.
Yeah. Same universe, different game. This one actually has plot.
Okay. So is it the classic, like Zenless Zone Zero, like the open world, like Genshin type?
Kind of.
Gameplay-wise?
It's more like encounter-based, I'd say.
Okay. Anyway. So pretty much none of the mobile games are mobile games. Best debut indie game.
Balatro.
Best independent game. Same game.
Yeah, same game, guys. Balatro again.
Best community support. Baldur's Gate 3.
I am
No
upset
problem
about
there.
this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, Baldur's Gate
Why?
3.
Because you want Fortnite?
No, because I feel like it doesn't deserve this. Like, for one, yes, they're putting out updates, but they're not, like, consistent updates. They're not, like, constant, here's new content, here's new stuff. And while, yes, I understand that community support is, like, are people still liking the game? Are they happy with how the developers are communicating? There's not a lot of communicating you need to do when your game isn't, like, a live service. Like,
Yeah.
and Baldur's Gate 3 is almost a year old already, if not more. So, like, I feel like it shouldn't have a place in this category. Maybe last year, after it came out, but, like, right now, I don't see it. I'd have been
Gotcha, I
happier if
haven't really
Final
heard
Fantasy
anything.
won.
Final Fantasy, Fortnite. I feel like this year has been horrible. There's
Yeah.
just so much
I
conflict
think
in the
Helldivers
Fortnite.
2 deserved it this year.
But then my problem with Helldivers is the whole PlayStation taking it off and all that kind of problems. So they've also had major problems this year, taking them off like different Steam regions and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't really heard anything about No Man's Sky.
No, I don't even
So,
know
like-
why that's there.
So could be worse. The next one I have a problem with though. And
Best
that is best
ongoing?
ongoing. And it's Helldivers 2. Just, I feel like ongoing needs to be at least a year, and this one's not even a year. It's like, I think it's like 7 or 8 months. And again, they've also had major conflict this year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like almost any other game here deserved it. Even
I
Diablo.
feel like the only two in this category that make sense to me are Fortnite and Destiny. The other ones are, like, new enough to not really have a place here.
Yeah. But especially Helldivers, like, because it came out this year. Final Fantasy, even if it's a new game, it's a franchise type of thing. Kind of like Call of Duty, I feel like could fit here. Because it's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
And then Diablo 4 does get, like, big DLC.
Why don't they
But
make it a
Helldivers-
franchise thing? Like, they should put franchises here. Like, say instead of just a game, put a franchise title. And, like, if that game released a good game this year, put them in the best ongoing. And if people think that they are still putting out the quality content under that label, then that should be what we're voting for. Like, put Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, game franchises, and vote for which one you think is
Or, like,
still
the
ongoing.
big
of the
ones that
best.
do get multi-years of content.
Mhm.
Like, because, like, Call of Duty, yes, they do release yearly, but I was talking with someone, and it's like Black Ops 3, people were playing, and it had almost 2.5 years of content.
Yeah.
They had new games coming out, but they were still supporting it. And so, like, Call of Duty could definitely go here.
Mhm.
So that's probably, like, my biggest qualm with all their awards. But, anyway. Games for Impact. Neva?
Neva, I think.
Neva? Okay. I don't know, like, half these.
Yeah.
Life is Strange, I know I looked interesting, though. Innovation Accessibility. Prince of Persia. Heard good things.
Yep, it's a classic Ubisoft IP. This
Yeah.
one's a side scroll though, which I thought was interesting.
I did see that. I did see like a trailer
for the concept
on
of
PlayStation. I'm like,
accessibility. It's like making a side scroll accessible is I don't know if it'd be harder or easier. It just seems different.
Yeah. And then anyway, for best performance, we have Melina, Sengu's Saga Hellblade 2. Good job, her.
Okay, you butchered every word in that entire phrase. Melina
I'm
Juergens,
pretty sure I pronounced 2 right.
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Pretty sure I pronounced 2 right.
Bruh.
Best audio design. Hellblade 2.
Have you just random question? Have you seen any of the stuff from Hellblade 2, like for
No.
audio design?
No.
It portrays
I've heard good things.
it portrays psychosis. So every moment through the game, you have voices alternating between your left and right ears, like whispering to you, of, like all these different thoughts. It's crazy.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Another audio-based one. Best score in music, we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I
Kind of surprised. I thought Astrobot, but
Astrobot had good
Not the
music, but
worst.
it's not like a huge orchestral achievement. Final Fantasy, I can see
Yeah.
they usually have pretty good soundtracks. I would have thought that Metaphor would have got it though. Usually the big anime release games get awards for their soundtracks.
mm-hmm. But they did win art direction.
They did indeed.
Best narrative. They also won.
Yep. Like I said, they fit a lot of different topics in there, so I'm not surprised about that.
Best game direction. We got Astrobot. And for game of the year, first of all, before we say game of the year, what was your game of the year? Whether it's on this list or not.
My game of the year. That is a real difficult question. Because on one hand, I feel like I played a lot of games this year. On the other hand, I feel like I didn't. Because at the end of the year here, I've had no time. Honestly, though, I'd probably say Indiana Jones. I'm a good, I want to say 15 hours into that. And just the way that they managed to fuse the world of, a cinematic story with the gaming space, it blended so well in a sense that it feels like I'm watching an Indiana Jones movie while I'm playing the game. They did it so well, and I'm loving it. I honestly would have had that be my pick.
But my personal was honestly Black Myth. I saw Black Myth really early on, and I got it before I watched people play it, and that I really liked a lot of the aesthetics of that one. But the winner was Astrobot. How do you feel about that?
I feel, I don't know, let down, not disappointed. It was a good game, and I feel like it I'm not upset that it got the award. I just was hoping that, in a year that we actually had some other titles in here, we had an indie game and we had, is it a new IP? I know it's Black Myth Wukong, but is Black Myth a established franchise?
Yes.
Okay.
It is the first game from China as well that has been on these lists.
Okay, yeah. But I don't know. I was hoping that we would get something not huge IP,
I mean,
basically
I get what
PlayStation the
you-
game just won.
I get what you mean, but kinda. They haven't really done much other than the trial. When you get a PS5, you get Astro's Playroom. Astrobot hasn't really done much.
You're right, but if you really
And
think
this
about
game
it,
itself put
Astrobot
it
is
forward
not
like that.
its own thing. It is PlayStation. He's the PlayStation robot, and PlayStation the game just won.
But I think that's because of Astrobot. I think before Astrobot came out, I don't think Astrobot was still their dedicated mascot. Sure, they used it, but they still had characters like Crash and some other IPs that they've had in the past. They haven't really had a dedicated you can 100% almost every person could put that as their mascot compared to something like Mario with Nintendo. And I think Astrobot is the reason that you now think that. I don't think people would have thought that before Astrobot.
I guess.
I like never really saw anything about it because you play it for like 2 hours maybe to check out the new controller. And that's it. So now it's a proper game, and it's a full fun game. Ratings were amazing. I think it's one of the highest rated games we've had in a long time across the board. It's that game where really anyone can play because it's you can enjoy it as someone who's older because of all the IPs from PlayStation, or you can enjoy it as younger with, like you said, like bubbly, childish, good soundtrack, like for a lot of audiences.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it once I get my hands on a PlayStation, but it was good. It deserves it. I just was hoping for something else.
Yeah. Do you know what I was hoping would not win? Let's talk about Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree.
Yeah. So FromSoft,
which
what's
is
up?
one of the six games this year that was nominated, but it's not a game. It is a DLC.
It's a DLC, and I get that. I get that people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's a whole other game. It's the same length as the campaign." Yeah, I get it. But like, if they really wanted to nominate themselves for these awards, they should not have released it as a DLC. They easily could have released it as a sequel. They could have done something like the Dishonored franchise did. After Dishonored 2, they released Death to the Outsider, which was the exact same framework, UI, and everything from Dishonored 2, just a different story. They easily could have done something like that, release it for a cheaper price as its standalone game. And that would have made sense if they wanted to be nominated for things. But they released it as a DLC by choice. So that should exclude them from this reward.
Well, if it's the one I'm thinking about, a lot of the gameplay was locked behind the original, though.
It was.
Like, you had to beat certain bosses and stuff to get it. Like, it is a DLC. I get what you mean with, like, they could have. But
I'm fairly certain you had to beat the final boss in Elden Ring in order to
I think it was a side boss. Like, a side boss that most people haven't beat. That's what I heard. I don't know much.
Yeah, I have no idea either. But either way, they still could have made it a sequel. Like, they could have made it a spin-off and just, like, have told the fans, hey, it takes place off to the side after you would have beaten this boss.
Yeah. But I'm just happy it didn't win.
Yeah, I'm very happy it didn't win.
It's just weird that DLC. And then I do want to quickly talk about Black Myth. Do you know Thor Pirate Software?
No.
Okay, he's like really big, and more and more he has ticked me off. He thinks Game of the Year should be something that is revolutionary to gaming, which I kind of understand. However, most of the games aren't. Like, they're nothing super crazy. And he said, it sounds like he's never played Astrobot, and he said Black Myth should have been because it brought something from the East. And I'm like, my guy, anime, like. Sure, this is one of the first games from China, but like we've had stuff from the East bringing it into the West. Just not to mention game style, it's generally not super new because it's almost like a Dark Souls game. That's probably what you were thinking of.
It's trying to spin on Dark Souls.
It's a Souls-like.
Yeah.
I like it because I do like the aesthetic and some of the other things. It's a little different to Souls. It's easier. Because I did go through both Black Myth and Astrobot. Astrobot, if I go here on my home screen, it's saying I'm like set like 16%, and Black Myth I'm like 26% done with the game, so I beat a few bosses. And I was struggling, so I'd kill like 3 enemies before I get to the boss and then respawn, but it would keep my XP, so I can like level up. You cannot do that in Souls. Souls, you die, you restart from like the beginning. But, like, it's nothing super original, and I'm just like, not to mention it was really buggy, and then someone also said that we should start doing sales. How do you feel about that? Highest selling game should be it should be Game of the Year.
No.
I don't think so. What I say to that? Do you think Call of Duty should have been Game of the Year, like 10 out of, like, the last 10 years? Call of Duty is, like, the highest selling game. Every year, whether you like Black Ops 6 or not, it's 1000% sold more than Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
I do personally think Black Myth was my game of the year, but
Mhm.
I'm totally okay with Astrobot, and I think it did phenomenal. And I think seeing that community support and just how positive it is, you do not hear negative things about it like at all. I haven't heard anything. Whereas Black Myth, even if it's from the devs or lag or bugs or something, there was problems. But it did break records too. I don't know if you saw that. It broke a lot of records for player-wise on Steam. But
I want to ask your opinion on this. So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is one of the nominees this year. However, that is a remake of an old game. And I get that it is like a ground-up remake, but what's your thoughts on like a remake being nominated for Game of the Year?
So, I think they're realistic. I don't know if we talked about this, or I think I talked about it with someone at work. There should be a remake/remaster category. Where we can put, or DLC, we can put Shadow of the Erdtree, put Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But I feel like compared to Shadow of the Erdtree, I do not mind Rebirth. Shadow of the Erdtree is directly a DLC, whereas yes, it is a remake. It is just so different. It's not the remaster. It is completely different with a lot of like the open world aspects of it. That I think it's okay. I do wish it was something else, but if that were to win, I will not have had as much of a problem as something like Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah, I think they should have a category for best re-release. So like that could contain remakes or remasters, stuff like that. Have all
DLC.
of that be available in that category.
Overwatch
and then
2.
Yeah, and then they could, for like the ones that are actual ground up remakes, like Final Fantasy VII, could be nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah. So, I'm definitely not as mad as Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to go through and so I have a list of everything, like all the trailers. I just have a few I want to point out. I don't know how you want to do this part.
Is your list the comment?
Well, no, I sent you. The goat. Yeah, the goat.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. Do we have his name? Hold up. Call out his name. The goat.
Sahasrahala. That's the one I have pulled up that has all of them. Sahasrala. That's definitely what it is.
Anyway, this guy is a goat, and he gave us the timestamps of every single trailer in the entire almost 4-hour stream.
Yeah. So anyways, let's go top down.
All right. So are we just going to go through every single one?
We can pick and choose, but let's start at the top.
All right. Any ones that you want to point out first from like the pre-show?
Look in here. Shadow Labyrinth. What about that? That's the Pac-Man one.
Yeah. I didn't call anything out with that one, but it seemed interesting. A lot of them do seem pretty good. There wasn't any other than like one or two that I was like specifically against. Like this looks awful.
I was really curious when I saw this trailer came up because, I mean, for one, I don't know if you saw the secret level show that came out on Amazon that had all the different video games and stuff. I think that episode was about this game, or maybe the other way around, but it was like there was this weird guy and Pac-Man was somehow the episode theme, but it didn't look like Pac-Man in any way. But now seeing this, I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't watched that, but this character looks very much like that show. So I guess they're trying to, what's the word? Re-spark the interest in Pac-Man by bringing it into a different genre.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty funny if we get an arcade machine at this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks, like I said, nothing specific.
Tales of the Shire?
Tales of the Shire.
That's the Lord of the Rings Animal Crossing.
I just know Lord of the Rings had an anime movie.
Yeah, no, Lord of the Rings has an
know.
Animal Crossing game now where you can play as a hobbit and build your shire.
Okay, anything else, or
do
you want to move on?
I guess we can move on.
Okay.
I'll let you call out the next one.
All right. Witcher 4. I'm ecstatic about this one. I just re-downloaded Witcher 3 so I can play through when I saw this happened. Trailer dropped, and then when I watched the Game Awards today, I saw the trailer itself because I haven't seen it. I just was like, whoa, that's cool. I didn't realize this was happening. And it looks great. I am ecstatic. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite games that I've played ever.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about it. I don't know if I'll play it. I might try it if it's on Game Pass or something, but when I tried playing The Witcher 3, don't flame me for this, I just couldn't get into it. I don't know if it's because I don't know the full story or because just the gameplay was a little too slow. I'm really not sure, but I just wasn't grasping it, so I never actually finished it. But I'm very excited to hear about people's thoughts on this one because it is one of the biggest gaming franchises out there, like whether you like it or not. So it kind of will have a big impact whether it is good or not.
And I'm excited to see what they do with Ciri, who's going to be, or Shiri.
Ciri,
I forget
Ciri.
how it's pronounced. Yeah. And I'm just excited to see how it goes because this will be the first Witcher where Geralt is not the main character.
Geralt.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. Geralt.
Bruh.
But no,
I swear you're
this is
everything today.
This is definitely my most anticipated on this entire list of everything. Even GTA 6.
Right.
Anyway, next one. Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yeah, I was not expecting this.
So, I don't think you were not expecting this. I think you were not expecting this. Let me clarify. I'm guessing you probably aren't, like, super up to date and, like, keeping track on all Elden Ring news.
No, I mean, I heard that they had
not.
just started production on the next game, I think.
Well, no. People, they had, like, from the creator saying that there would not be a new Elden Ring. They said there would not be a new Elden Ring. So they were like, okay, there's not a new Elden Ring. And then we get an Elden Ring trailer.
Literally.
So,
I mean, I don't know how much of a full-fledged game this is going to be because on one hand, yes, like it is its own standalone thing. But at the same time, if you actually look at it, it literally looks like it's just going to be, here's some more bosses to fight, but you can do it with 3 players now.
So, from what I heard, it is going to be a boss rush with a storm that's going to close in, so you're timed with the mechanics of almost every FromSoft game. Like, we got Sekiro, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, like, different things. We have Elden Ring mechanics, all of it in here. It's going to be a boss rush with different enemies from all these games combined, where it's going to be multiplayer. Or not multiplayer, but co-op.
3 players.
So it seems
specifically.
really
You either do it
interesting.
solo or you do it 3-player.
There's no 2.
There's no 2-player.
Fortnite community. We bashed them for not having duos when OG came out. Come on, let's get duos up in here. But no, that one it just seems like such an interesting concept. I will say I am with the people that are a little scared because it feels like every game FromSoft has released has been good, and this is just going to be so different that it might ruin that record. But I'm really excited to see where it is. I don't know if I'm going to get it day one, but I'm really this one I'll probably actually watch. Like, I'm going to, like, keep up with. It seems like a really interesting concept. Anything else?
Nope. Next one, Final Fantasy VII, the PC announcement. Less so about what we think of this game, because we've already talked about it, but more so, we're kind of seeing happen what we talked about a little while ago, how console exclusives coming to PC a year or two after release. Because
Indiana Jones is also coming out on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's
next year.
I'm really happy about this and the way that things are working out, because it seems like they're finally realizing exclusives aren't healthy, really, but you can use them in a healthier way where you can release them on other platforms after you've gotten the benefit of your console sales by getting people to buy it so that they can play it, and then afterwards release it again on other platforms, and you make more money because then the people who waited or the people who couldn't afford a console are still buying the game.
Because like I can still get a PlayStation or Xbox and get those exclusives day one. Like, for example, like I don't know, like if I was like more into story games when God of War Ragnarok came out, I don't know if I could have handled waiting 2 years if I would have played 2018 and waited so long for Ragnarok. So you get it, but if you are okay waiting and it's not your biggest franchise, you can play on PC 2-3 years later. I think, and that gives plenty of holidays and birthday opportunities to sell a console with that game. But again, if you're okay waiting, you can. And then also get like reduced cost maybe even for the console itself because it's later down its life cycle.
Yeah. But I'm just happy that it seems like the console publishing community is growing.
So like I said, Indiana Jones.
Yep. I wanted to call out Catley. What was your reaction when you saw that one?
I also have that one underlined, italicized, and bolded. AI game ?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure I turned to Lexi and said, "This looks like it was made with AI." And apparently
so we got an AI anime and now AI game.
Yeah,
so
apparently we are not alone in thinking that, though, because the rest of the internet simultaneously pounced on the developers asking, and they said no. None of it is made with AI.
Oh. All right. Still not gonna play.
Yeah.
It looks kind of trash, not gonna lie.
I'm not sure. Here, let me check real
sorry.
quick. I'm pretty sure at the end it said it was going to be available on, like, a watch or something like that.
So yeah, the Apple Watch specifically.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't put that in parentheses. It is, so I'm really interested. It's going to be on Switch, Steam, and Apple Watch. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be like a Tamagotchi life type thing.
I think so, yeah, Tamagotchi. I think
watch.
it's supposed to be like
That'd
that.
be kind of cool.
It would be. It's a cool idea, especially in the world of smartwatches now. Like, we can do that. I'm surprised there hasn't been one already, so I'm excited to see how it goes. I just kind of wish it wasn't this game.
Imagine Stray got something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Path of Exile. Haven't you played that one?
No.
I just started playing it. It's good. It's just like Diablo. It's something like super different, but it's just like Diablo. It's a good game though. Untitled project from Gen Design. Peak Maeve.
Yeah.
Looks cool. This one does kind of look cool.
It does.
We don't know much about it though.
I kind of wish they would have waited. This feels like a way too early of an announcement. Like, it very much is cool to know that they have something coming, but I wish they would have held everything back and just said, we are making a game. Because everybody knows Shadow of the Colossus, and a lot of people know The Last Guardian. They're, like, really cool, make you think about reality kind of games, and it's definitely a studio that people are going to watch and see what they release, and so I kind of wish they would have made the reveal a little bigger once they had a little more to go off of, but I don't know, they're still so early in development. I feel like this was a bad move.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, but I think it's also at the same time, it is kind of cool that we are able to see beyond. Because obviously a lot of these games are coming out next year or soon, but it's also going to be cool to see what is coming out with the rest of the decade.
Yeah.
And you can't necessarily have a full... Because it's either they do something like this, it's a smaller trailer without a name, or we get a full trailer like Hightail GTA 6, and then we wait 5 years.
Yeah.
So I would rather not even have the name and be early like this, then know more about it and have to wait longer.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2. Speaking of new stuff, I gotta give credit to this one. I thought the trailer was hilarious.
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2.
People that made Fallout 3 the sequel, New Vegas.
Have you played Outer Worlds?
No.
It is actually
that's why, like, that's the
pretty,
big thing.
It's actually pretty funny. If you
I know you did a series on it.
No, you're thinking
Outer Wilds.
Yeah, Outer Wilds. That's what you're thinking. Outer Worlds is different. Outer Worlds is shooter like the Fallout games. Outer Wilds is philosophical commentary. Anyways, have you played any of the Fallout games? I can't remember.
games.
Yes. Okay. Did you like them?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're cutting out.
I'm saying yeah.
You're saying it so quietly and shortly that I can't hear you at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you liked that and the humor of this trailer, you have to play it. I didn't finish it, but oh my gosh, it is really funny. It's like if you combine Fallout and Borderlands, in my opinion. Like, it is a really interesting mix of like that FPS, but also like dystopia kind of sci-fi. It's pretty cool.
I will say right now, there is a lot of sales going on PlayStation as well. And that one I think is like 50% off.
Yeah.
There's too many games I want right now. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Outer Worlds 2. Anything else? Because we got so many. By the way, we have 15 minutes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Split Fiction. This is one that I did want to give a little bit more highlight because I'm very excited for this one. The dude was very funny.
It was really funny. I will say, I wish we got a trailer instead of him talking.
We did get a trailer.
He talked too much. I just want to see the game.
But no, I'm very excited for this one. This is by the people who made It Takes Two, and that game was awesome. But this one I'm even more excited for because somehow they managed to fit the dynamic of every American couple where it's a book girl who likes fantasy and the nerdy dude who likes sci-fi. So I can see a lot of couples ending up playing this game.
I wonder if you would like, you might like Don to Don then. Whole premise of the show is one person believes in aliens, one person believes in ghosts, but they don't believe in the other thing. It's great.
No, I'm really excited to play through this one. I look forward to every game that they do, so this is going to be great.
Cool. Anything else? Or do you want to go down to Borderlands 4?
Yeah, Borderlands 4. I wish we got more, honestly. I liked the trailer, and it was really cool, but I wish there was more. Like, it was a story trailer. I kind of wanted some gameplay and stuff like that, but I get it. They're still early on. But it's good to see stuff from them, though. Yeah.
No, it looks pretty cool. Nothing really to point out, because I haven't, like, finished any of the games. They're cool, but nothing, like, I'm going to die on a hill. Like, this is top 10 for me or anything.
Yeah.
The next one that I want to talk about, though, that I am extremely excited for is Splitgate 2.
Yeah.
I
look
think,
pretty cool.
Especially after the fall of X-Defiant, I think this could be really good for the genre.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm excited to see it.
If you played Splitgate 1, it's going to be a little bit more hero shootery, but it's not. But no, I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope they do well. Anything else?
Fortnite OG had
Fortnite
a trailer.
OG.
Feel like we have to call that out.
Yep. Fortnite OG.
Helldivers 2 got an update. Warframe. I want to comment on that. Warframe. I'm surprised that 1, they had a big trailer. 2, that they're still putting out as much content. And 3, if they are putting out this content, why have I not heard about them in a decade?
What? Warframe?
Yeah.
Which ones?
It's like
Which games?
From what I understand, it's like a huge free to play. Like on I don't want to say on par publicity wise as Destiny, but I think it has nearly as many players as Destiny. So like
it's funny that you say that, because I have like 3 or 4 people that are constantly on my friends list that I see like this is the primary thing I see they're playing.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. Apparently, this is just something I heard. The tutorial for Warframe is like 15 hours long.
Huh. But yeah, $19.99. It's a game.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
Apparently I played 2 hours of it.
Probably.
Oh, it has a PS5 Pro enhanced version. That's pretty cool.
Our World is getting an update.
Yep. I want to play it, but I'm also scared Nintendo's going to take the game down, so I don't want to buy it.
That's fair. You should get Game Pass.
Get Game Pass. Or I can just not download this game and spend time for a game that's going to removed 6 months, because I already had to suffer that with X-Defiant.
Yeah. Solo Leveling got a game. Do you have any comments on that?
It does look cool. I'm gonna check it. I don't know if I want to get it. I'm very skeptical of anime games. I generally have to play like a beta or something because so many of them are just mindless like smashing abilities and like hack and slash kind of games. Like Pirate Warriors for One Piece, it's just waves of like hundreds of enemies that you just whack around your abilities, or they're fighting games like Naruto or Dragon Ball. So I'm not sure if this is like one of those mobile games or if this is gonna be a little bit better. We didn't really see enough. So I'm gonna wait. I am kind of excited because Solo Leveling is definitely one of my favorite anime of this entire year. Season 2 is coming out next year, and I just saw the movie in theaters as well for the beginning of Season 2, and it's definitely one of my favorites. So I will keep an eye out on that one.
Anything else you want to call out?
Last of Us Part 2 remastered PC announcement. We got Odyssey, Fortnite. Infinity Nikki. Have you heard of this game? Because I was scrolling through TikTok the one day, and I saw like 10 different people streaming it. I'm like, what is this? I check it out. It's free to play. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. It's it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, I feel like there's a lot of these weird niche anime games that come out of nowhere and just take the internet by storm. And I feel like Genshin started as one of those from what I remember. It was like nobody knew it was coming, and then it came out and suddenly everybody was playing it. Everybody was obsessed. Most people were calling it a Zelda ripoff because it literally is the same mechanics.
It was. I remember when it first came out. I'm like, this is terrible. It's just Zelda with my
but it's like
microtransactions.
I feel like anime games have a process of doing this. Like Wuthering Waves I've seen has been doing it a lot recently as well. As like I've seen so many people, so many ads as well, just all the recommendations for it. And now I feel like the newest one is this one, Infinity Nikki. Is just like, where did this come from? There was no build up to this, and now it's out and people are like raving.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm guessing you haven't played it then? You said you haven't played too much.
I have not.
It came out December 4th. I did play it. I'm like, 30 minutes in. It's wholesome. Like, it reminds me of Astrobot a little bit from the time I played. It's obviously not Astrobot, but it's like, oh, I got a bubble dress where I could jump a little bit higher, and it's just a wholesome type of thing like that, where you have your little cat sidekick. So that's why it seems like it definitely can be fun. You can customize your outfit too and a bunch of stuff. So it seems like it can be fun. Nothing too crazy. But no, I just want to point that out because like we have Zenless, Honkai, Star Rail, like we have a bunch of these games right here at the end. Like you said, like these anime type games that like came out of nowhere and now they're just massive. Genshin's still around. I wish it would die.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mafia game. Anything you want to point about that one?
Nope.
Just seems like a big franchise. And then we have this last one, Intergalactic.
So, do you know
think of
why
this
they
one?
hyped this up? Because I don't.
I think it's partially just Naughty Dog. I'm thinking it's just been a while since they've done anything.
I guess. He seemed like it was like a big deal, like the biggest reveal of the night. And I'm watching this like, okay, what's so special right now? It just looks like a game trailer to me.
See.
I don't know.
It's also the fact that it's I'm just seeing like when all their IPs and stuff. Yeah, I'm not super sure, but it doesn't sound like it was the biggest of the night, but more so the fact that the entire trailer was in-game footage and just how good it looked. Because I will say it looked really good.
It did, yeah.
Graphically wise.
I don't know. I'm
and I think
torn
that's
on,
partially why.
Like the game itself. I don't know how it's going to play. It looks really cool. Like aesthetically, I love it. I'm all about the sci-fi look. And this is like a really cool balance between a kind of sci-fi look and a retro look. Like I feel like they balanced it really well. I do want to comment on the brand placement. Like the Porsche spaceship. And what was she wearing? Like Nike shoes or something like that. I was like,
she just got that fit.
It's a really weird, like, brand insertion.
Yeah, Yeah, no. I just, the big thing was just how aesthetically, like, good it looked. Unreal 5 is absolutely phenomenal. And I want to point out quickly, speaking of realistic, I gave you that short video, and this isn't specifically Game Awards, but another big thing with gaming is that realistic shooter game, Body Cam, is officially out in early access on Steam. And does it not look crazy?
It does, like, actually.
Especially the guy that fell, like, he got shot and he just went limp. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no crazy ragdoll. It didn't get blown away. He just fell. And that is terrifying, mind you.
Yeah.
That is going to traumatize kids.
Literally. Imagine, like, playing that in VR or something.
Oh my gosh. No. Oh, that was another Dan TM video I watched. The one with the plank.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it. But yeah, we're wrapping up here. We're at 55 minutes. What do you think about this year's Game Awards? Good?
I want to say it was better than last year's. I'm happier with the actual awards that were given. I feel like the trailers themselves could have yielded a little bit more, but there were a lot more this year, I think. So I guess they went for quantity over quality this year? Question mark.
Yeah, and I think that was my next question was, how do you feel about the future next year and beyond? Because, like, a lot of these games, like that one is coming out in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's promising. I think they had so many, like I said earlier, to show here is what's coming in the next few years. Not just early spring or something, not coming out next year, but here's what's to come. And it looks pretty good so far. Is it like, am I saying 2025 or 2026 is going to be like the biggest game of gaming ever? No.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty happy with what we know so far.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a lot.
I think there's enough to be excited about.
I want to say, like, I'd call them Titan games coming out, where they're like big, like everybody's excited for this. It's supposed to be like really high tech, and it's supposed to have a really great story from a big company. It seems like there's going to be a lot of those coming out, and less focus on the more indie, smaller developer side of things this next year, at least.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about us doing an episode instead of trying to cram it into our New Year's special?
It works a lot better.
This is significantly better. So, guys, in the comments, let us know what your game of the year was. It doesn't have to be of the list. Actually, do both. What was your game of the year, and what did you want to win the actual award of the nominations?
Yeah.
Tell us both in the comments down below. And if you want to listen to more episodes, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we upload again.
Indeed.
And where can they go to, like, talk with us?
They can go to our Discord, Seth, which is also in our link tree. Click that link down in the description. Oh my gosh, I feel like a YouTuber.
Yep, we also got Twitter and Instagram. So tweet us, tag us. Oh, I guess Facebook too, right?
Yeah, that exists.
By the way, did you fix the? Did you fix
Not yet. No, I have to get it off my computer.
Guys, we'll fix that soon. I don't have well, I have access. I just don't check it because that's Lexi's job now. And I'm like, hey, while I'm on my computer, let me Google the Instagram. And I'm like, JJ, it's last year's picture. It is our old logo, which is quite literally almost a year old.
We don't have to talk about that right now.
Anyway, you guys go follow those. And yeah.
Game Awards.
Bye.
Woohoo.